All right, let's dive into a really fascinating personal experiment. It's all built around one single transformative idea that pretty much flips the script on how we think about reaching our goals. We're going to see what happens when, for 7 whole days, every little decision gets filtered through one really powerful question.
And here it is. This is the question. It seems so simple, right? What if? But it's actually incredibly profound. I mean, think about it. Instead of waiting for some big event in the future to change who you are, what if you just started being that future person right now? This was the entire game plan for the 7-day challenge. So this slide really breaks down the two mindsets perfectly. On the left, you've got the old way, and this is how most of us operate, right? Once I get the job, then I'll be more organized. But the experiment on the right flips that completely. It says act successful first, and the results will follow. It's a total shift from cause and effect to, well, effect and cause. So the rules for this whole thing? Incredibly simple. In fact, there was only one. For 7 days straight, before making any decision, and I mean any, big or small, the only filter was to ask, what would my future successful self do in this exact situation? That's it. No excuses, no putting it off, just that one guiding question. And of course, the test came immediately. On the very first morning, that first impulse was that classic modern-day reflex, grab the phone, start scrolling. It's almost automatic for so many of us. You don't even think about it. But then the rule kicked in. And this is where you see the power of that question in action right away. The internal chat was immediate, and the answer was just crystal clear. The ideal version of myself, yeah, probably not starting the day with a mindless reactive scroll. And with that one simple no, the phone went back down. That tiny decision created this surprising jolt of power and control right from the get-go. So as the experiment rolled into days 2 and 3, the same logic just started to stack up. Every choice became this little fork in the road. You have the easy path, and then you have the future self path. Junk food or healthy meal. Binge watching a show or learning that new skill. Hitting the snooze button or just getting up. Each one was a small vote for this new identity. Okay, let's be real. This was not easy at all. It was uncomfortable. Choosing the harder, more disciplined thing over and over again kind of goes against our basic human wiring for comfort. But a really fascinating thing started to happen. With every one of those tough choices, the path forward just got clearer and clearer. Then, somewhere around day 4, a huge mental shift happened. That old way of thinking, the one that runs on feelings, do I feel motivated? Am I in the mood? It just started to fade into the background. It was getting replaced by something way more powerful. The new question was this: is this aligned with my future life? See the difference? This moves your decision-making out of the world of temporary feelings and into the world of permanent identity. It stops being about what you want right now and starts being about who you're becoming. Every action becomes a vote for your future self, and wow, that changes the whole game. So what were the actual results after just 1 week? I mean, what really changed? Well, the outcomes were pretty impressive. There was more confidence, even better posture, and more physical energy. Focus was way up. Goals became clearer, and there was a lot less of that annoying overthinking. These weren't just fuzzy feelings. These were real, tangible changes from living by that one simple rule. But honestly, more important than anything on that list was the change that happened on the inside. The biggest transformation was this fundamental shift in identity. It was the difference between feeling like someone who is constantly trying to be better and feeling like someone who is actively becoming that person. You see, one feels like a struggle. The other just feels like an evolution. And now, it's super important to say that this week wasn't some story of flawless perfection. It wasn't about being a robot. There were definitely moments of failure, times when the old habits just won. But the way those slip-ups were handled was completely different. And this is so key, because the goal was alignment, not perfection. A mistake wasn't some huge disaster. It was just data. The course correction happened way faster. So instead of spiraling into guilt and beating yourself up, the mindset was just, okay, that wasn't aligned, let's get back on track. Failure became a tool for growth, not a reason to just give up. This whole experiment really leads to a powerful new way of looking at success. It's not some big event you finally arrive at one day, like you've crossed a finish line. Nope. Success is the sum total of thousands of tiny, daily, identity-based decisions that you make when nobody's watching.
So your future self, it isn't built by these huge, grand gestures. It's built by the small stuff you do day in and day out. As you can see here, it's built by your speech, your thoughts, your reactions, and maybe most importantly, what you refuse to tolerate from yourself anymore. If you had to boil this entire philosophy down into one short mantra, this would be it right here. Act first, become later. You don't wait to feel confident to do the thing, you do the thing. And that action builds your confidence. Your behavior literally shapes your identity, not the other way around.
And that leaves us with one final thought, which I'll turn back to you. Thinking about the rest of your day, what's just one small thing your future successful self would do differently? And really, what's stopping you from doing it right now?